Thank you. Item number 7, 7A, consideration of an action on authorizing the execution of a consent agreement and First Amendment to the lease by and between the City of Sugar Land, Texas and ACE Sugar Land LLC for the Smart Financial Center at Sugar Land. Councilmember Mitchell, I think she's gone. We've got Ms. Jennifer May, our Assistant City Manager.
All right.
Jennifer.
Good evening. I am happy to be here tonight to present, as you said, the consent agreement and First Amendment to the lease between the City of Sugar Land and ACE-SL as it relates to the Smart Financial Center. Real quick, just an outline for tonight. We're going to go over the history and success of this venue, the role of our partners in that success, and the proposed formalization of Ambassador Theater Group's role. As you know, this venue was first identified by a citizen-led visioning task force in 2007 as part of a larger strategy to enhance and solidify the city's position as a major destination location and economic powerhouse. The great thing is that our residents are able to reap the financial benefit of this venue without any of their property tax dollars going to support it. And I can tell you there has been no shortage of success when it comes to this venue, so I think they're doing very well. In just the first 2 years, this venue has won numerous awards, earned recognition not just as a Sugar Land venue, but also a regional destination with only 25% of ticket sales in 2017 coming from Fort Bend County. Also, in its first year, the venue hosted more than 130 events and more than 350,000 paid attendees, which was incredibly impressive. And just as important, it generated more than $650,000 in direct and indirect sales tax to the city. And the great news is we are on pace in 2018 to have just as successful of a year. And so actually, as you can see, if you do the math through the third quarter, they're actually on pace to exceed last year's attendance. And so, as with any project, this success really isn't just the city's success, it's really the result in large part due to our partnership with industry leaders in each of these projects. And so, who are our partners in this one? Of course, we have our official and longtime partner, ACE-SL, who began as a subsidiary of ACE Theatrical Group, which is an industry-leading company founded by entertainment titan Alan Becker, who's actually in the audience with us tonight, and a company that was led by an executive team with more than 175 years of experience. I debated writing a joke in here to say that those are not all Gary Becker's years, but I didn't write it in. We also have another partner that has been an important part of our success as well, and that is the global company of Ambassador Theater Group, which ACE Theatrical joined in 2015. Ambassador, or ATG, is one of the world's premier live entertainment venue operators and theater production companies with over 11,000 performances annually and close to 50 global venues. As I mentioned, ACE joined the ATG team in 2015, and at that time, our venue actually remained under the full direct control of ACE Theatrical, but was immediately supported by ATG through a shared services agreement. Since then, the two companies have worked phenomenally well together, achieving a level of success that has far exceeded any of our expectations. And in particular, ATG has provided significant support in the booking of the venue with a wide variety of just truly the highest quality and well-known entertainment acts of everything from Sugar Land to Chris Rock to Sting and to Peppa Pig even. And so at this time, the ownership group of ACE has notified the city of its desire to formalize Ambassador Theater Group's role as owner of ACE-SL. We truly believe that this continued partnership will only further enhance and solidify ATG's relationship to the Smart Financial Center, really just continuing our original vision for a multifaceted live entertainment venue. And in particular, ATG brings with it a tremendous amount of theater production experience, which will only further expand on our vision. And so in order to make this official, city approval is actually required because this triggers technically what is known as a change in control. And as you will recall, the city has protected itself and reserved the right to approve any changes in control, except for very limited exceptions under the lease, with our focus really being on maintaining and ensuring that our partner has experience and the financial strength to conduct the operations. And so in response to that request, over the past several months, we've been engaged in extensive discussions with ACE and ATG to complete a comprehensive due diligence process. Essentially, we wanted to make sure that ATG's long-term vision and their desired role was in alignment with our vision for the venue. And that included, of course, a very thorough examination of their financial strength, which was completed and verified by a third party. And so with all of that successfully completed, we have drafted a consent agreement and First Amendment to the lease for your consideration tonight, all with the following goals in mind: maximizing our financial protections, preserving and enhancing both the community and economic benefit of the venue, and of course, maintaining the important role that the leadership that we've come to know very well, maintaining the role that they play both in the operations of the venue, but perhaps even more importantly, within the community as well. And so without further ado, I would like to acknowledge a very large group of our partners who are here with us tonight. And if this showing doesn't show you how committed everyone is to Sugar Land in this venue, I don't know what will, so this is going to take me a minute. But first and foremost, we have Alan Becker, who the mayor acknowledged earlier. Then we have Gary Becker as well. I'm going to do this in order of the screen or I'll forget somebody. But we have Nick Potter, who is the Group International Venues Director with Ambassador Theater Group. Stephen Lewin, who is the CEO of ATG North America. Kristen Caskey, who's the Executive Vice President of Content and Creative. David Skenner, General Manager of our venue now. Mark Perthel, who is in their booking area. Adam Ball, Finance. Joe Kane, Director of Ticketing. I joked with Sam Voisin that I would not get the New Orleans kind of flair to his name. Steve Wilson, and then a slew of, David Anderson, who is with ACE as well, and then a slew of people who have helped us make sure that the fine print is done correctly, which is John Rogers with ATG, Mark Arnold with Andrews Kurth, Louis Gerwich, and Mike Rogers working with ACE and their team. So huge thank you to you all for being here. And then a few of them will get to speak at the end. And so I mentioned the fine print. Now it's time to go over that. So essentially, the consent agreement and the First Amendment to the lease does several things. It acknowledges the city's approval of the transaction for ATG North America to become the controlling entity of ACE-SL. It confirms the tenant's understanding of all lease provisions. And as part of protecting our financial interest, it acknowledges the responsibility of the tenant for any costs that we have incurred as part of our due diligence. And additionally, as part of this process, we also took the time to visit with ATG about things that are important to our community. And in the spirit of a really good partnership, they have agreed to several lease modifications that are actually, I would say, in our favor. And I'll go over some of those momentarily, but essentially they're just designed to increase the reflection of our values in the lease, strengthen our position within a major global company, and strengthen our protection in any future changes in control. And so first, this slide just highlights that we did confirm that Ambassador has the financial strength and experience to run our operations. And it shows that we're also protecting ourselves even further with their provision of a lease guarantee. And then these are the values-based enhancements, which includes ensuring that we have the right to be consulted in any major leadership changes and integrating experience requirements for the general manager, acknowledging the important role that community events such as high school graduations play in our venue, making sure that the role of the advisory committee, which is really just a group of ACE representatives and city that meet regularly to discuss the operations of the venue, to make sure that that role remains unchanged. We also have been able to add in some provisions that make sure the city is consulted if they make any changes to one of their major ticketing vendors. And then also we have formalized our expectation that they make a good faith effort to continue with the high level of performance of the venue that we have already seen. And then the last two things are acknowledgement that there will be a good faith effort on both of our parts to negotiate any amendments that are necessary as we implement shared parking within Tract 5. And finally, we've eliminated some confusing language regarding the operation of the Crown Festival Park, just by clarifying that it is no longer a competitive venue. And so with that, move to the recommendation. This has been reviewed by the City Council Economic Development Committee, and then any appropriate legal advice was discussed with the City Council in executive session. And so I am happy to recommend tonight your approval of the formal consent agreement and First Amendment to the lease. Upon your consideration, the next step will be for our partners to complete the closing of their transaction in early January, at which time this agreement will actually become effective. At that same time, the city manager will also deliver and execute an estoppel to confirm that there are no defaults and we haven't made any amendments between now and then. And then just a note, in the future, kind of through carryovers, we'll bring forward the budget amendment to recognize the receipt of their reimbursement for the legal costs, which is running around $55,000 right now. But ultimately, and I'm going to welcome up Stephen Lewin or Nick Potter and Gary Becker if they want to say any words, but ultimately, we really just look forward to continuing this partnership and to continuing to grow the success of this important venue. It's already changed the regional live entertainment landscape, and we have no doubt that it will continue to solidify our position as an economic powerhouse, not only within the region, but also the state. And so I'll welcome them up, and then I'll be happy to take any questions. So Stephen or Gary or Nick.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Bogart, City Council, wow, here we are. After 10 years on this journey that so many passionate people, so many hardworking people on the city side, the city staff, past councils, past mayors, my team, partner David Anderson, the staff that I have at the center that truly makes it great, that have worked so hard to make this venue great, and to get the attention from a company like ATG to come to us and look at this venue and be willing to share the vision and do the things necessary to keep Sugar Land proud. And I'm honored to be here, and I thank so many people that were able to be here. So thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Good evening. It's so great to be here. It's such a thrill that this day has arrived, and we think back on the last year and just what a rewarding experience it's been to get to know the city of Sugar Land, the city managers, the mayor, the city council, and to really align on common goals. And that's what's been happening. And to continue the great work that's been done at the theater and be able to add our diversity of programming and continue the Smart Financial Center as a true destination for cultural activity for both the city and the surrounding area. It's really part of our goals. Our company, ATG, has been built on pillars of quality content and commercial initiatives and first-class customer experience. And those are just a few of the things that we plan to bring to the Smart Financial Center and to the city of Sugar Land. And you can see that we came in force today with all the people in our organization to reinforce that point. So we're very proud to be here and look forward to the future and really getting to know everybody a lot better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And I'd just like to add that, yes, Jennifer, we've got nearly 50 venues, which is fantastic and does bring us an ability to add to programming, etc. But more importantly, we used to be one venue 20 years ago, and we never forget that. That's really important in our DNA. Partnerships at a local level is critical. Building with local communities, empowering the management of local teams and the leadership of local teams to deliver on that is really what it's all about, and that is one of our key values. So I'm looking forward, if this is given consent, to building on this already strong partnership with everyone in the city. So thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And with that, thank you guys. With that, I'd be happy to take any clarifying questions that you have for staff.
Okay. Jennifer, just I wanted to acknowledge, one, your work
Thank you.
toward this effort. This, for those of you that don't know, this has taken place over a period of many months. Jennifer has been our lead negotiator, if you will. We've got not only a great partner, Gary, in ACE, and now with ACE Theatrical Group, but you know, there's been it's not only been a spirit of trust, which we always had with the Becker family, but it's also been a shared vision. And it's easy to sit here and now as we get ready to, you know, take action on this item, there's been a lot of good work that's been done by ATG, by our staff, you, our city manager, people on council and the various committees, and I want to thank them for that effort. It's been, as Jennifer said, by any measure, it's been an extraordinary venue. And it will continue, I think, with the joint efforts of both ATG and the city of Sugar Land. It will continue to be an extraordinary venue, you know, for years to come. So I want to thank you, Jennifer, personally. I wanted to recognize you with these people. ATG, also Gary, Allen, David, many of you that were part of the original venture. That was an extraordinary partnership, and we look forward to what this new venture is going to do.
Thank you.
Council members. Bridget.
Thank you. I too would like to thank you, Jennifer.
You're very welcome.
This has been a long road for the Smart Financial Center. In fact, we've been working on it ever since I got on council in 2011. We did a study that showed it would be successful, and it has been successful. Our community is extremely proud of how successful the venue has been, but they're also proud to have it here in our community. And I give a lot of that credit to Gary Becker, who has just done a phenomenal job of not only running the venue, but becoming part of Sugar Land. And so we thank you for all your efforts in doing that. We have received regional recognition. We have received national recognition. Our attendees absolutely love the venue, and the performers actually love the venue. One even complimented the shower, Gary, just because that was important to you, Gary. So, but I think it's very exciting that ATG will bring further strength and further quality to this venue, and so I'm very much looking forward to this partnership.
Ramesh.
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to echo all the comments from my colleagues, but I think we really need to really thank the luminary who's in the room, and that's Mr. Becker. We are so proud to have you and your family part of Sugar Land and everything you have done for us. You know, when David walked in and when Gary walked in, I mean, it's like seeing family again. And that's really how we all feel about you. I think we started this process many years ago, and myself and Councilmember Young and Councilmember Porter were actually on a subcommittee of the council that worked through a lot of the processes to get to where we are today. And it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the relationship that we've had with Gary and the Becker family and David and Lewis and everybody else who's here. And for all of you to be here tonight is just, it really sends a strong message to us that you really care about Sugar Land. This means a lot to you all, and the feeling is very mutual. So thank you for everything you all have done. It's been a fantastic ride so far, and we've got many, many years ahead of us. And this is going to truly be the most iconic theater in the entire United States. And out of your 50, I think this is going to be the best one yet. So thank you very much.
Carol.
Thank you, Mayor. The Smart Financial Center is in my district, and I'm extremely proud to have it there. And I would just like to echo my colleagues' comments that I'm very grateful to the Becker family for everything you've done to make this possible, and I look forward to much continued success.
Steve?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank our attorney, Mark, for we would get together and talk about this contract, and then the city council would come up with these interesting things and ask Jennifer and Mark to go make it happen. And that it's always easier for the people that don't have to do it. So I want to acknowledge the people that made it happen and ask our city manager to give Jennifer a vacation.
Yes, sir.
Got a motion to approve. I'll do the second. Is there any further discussion? You vote at this time, please. And it passes by a vote of 6-0. Thank you all.